Good afternoon and welcome to everyone. My name is Steve Nakin. I'm president of Acon Concessions, the developer and financier of the airport redevelopment project. We're thrilled to be here today to celebrate the launch of the new airport company, Bermuda Skyport Corporation, or Skyport. Skyport is a Bermudian company formed specifically to undertake the redevelopment and operation of the LF Wade International Airport. The launch of Skyport is the culmination of over 2.5 years of hard work on the part of the governments of Bermuda and Canada, the Acon development team, and the teams of advisors on all sides. But I need to recognize above all the hard-working and dedicated team from the former Department of Airport Operations, who were extraordinarily patient while the agreements for the project and their very future were being put together, and as the project proceeded through its various early development phases. From the very inception of our involvement in Bermuda, we at Acon recognized the inherent talent and potential of the DAO team, that they in fact had the strongest vested interest in transforming the airport into one which would properly manifest the pride they all feel for their country and what it has to offer the world. Consequently, we proceeded to build the company around those talented individuals. So above all today, I want to recognize and thank the former DAO and now Skyport team for joining us, for believing that they could maximize their potential through this new venture, and of course for making the transition on March 16th such a resounding success. Thank you. What's in a name? There's actually a lot of significance behind the name Skyport, including its warm Bermudian color scheme and the hopeful symbolism of its soaring kite. As the sky component of the name literally connotes, this is a company with an aviation focus, and sky represents promise and limitless opportunity. The word Skyport also invokes a futuristic vision and one of technological innovation. Blended together, we have a company that is not only contracted to deliver a very specific set of complex tasks, but one that defines itself with lofty aspirational symbols, yet remains firmly anchored to its Bermudian core. Ultimately, Skyport is a fusion, a partnership, if you will, of local talent and the international infrastructure development expertise of Acon. At Acon, we have a long history of such successful partnerships, and we know that our partnership with Bermuda will be no different. Which brings me to the notion of social partnership. As you may know, Acon has a substantial financial investment in Bermuda, but we also believe that we have a social one. It's been a great privilege to get to know Bermuda and its people, and we're honored to have been able to support local events and initiatives, such as the Construction Association of Bermuda's Kids in Construction competition. Today, I'm happy to announce the formal launch, but really a continuation of our corporate social responsibility program in Bermuda. Through Skyport, we will support community outreach, education, health and sports, and important environmental sustainability initiatives. These steps are necessary given the significant footprint that the airport has in the community and how interwoven it is with the fabric of Bermuda's economic landscape. To that end, I'm pleased to announce the first donation in this program will be to the Family Center. Today, we're making a $5,000 donation to support the Family Center's important work, helping families and children who suffer from problems such as abuse, neglect, and other emotional challenges. We want to create a lasting positive effect in Bermuda, not only for Bermuda's airport, but also for its people, its businesses, and its future generations. This program will help us to deepen our investment in Bermuda through charitable investments and community engagement. Lastly, my task today is not only to launch the company and its CSR program, but also to pass the baton to Aaron Adderley, the new president of Skyport, who will lead our airport team and the project into the future. Aaron will give you a few more details about what you can expect from the new company. Over to you, Aaron.
Thank you, Steve. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to be here today to announce the launch of Skyport. The creation of this new Bermudian company represents the beginning of a new era for Bermuda's airport infrastructure and services. From today, Skyport is responsible for the operation, maintenance, and commercial functions of LF-Wade International Airport, and has taken these on from the former Department of Airport Operations, or DAO, through a rather smooth transition. Skyport will also manage and coordinate the overall delivery of the airport redevelopment project for a 30-year concession term. At the end of this 30-year period, Skyport's lease with the government will end, and the day-to-day operation of the airport and its facilities will revert back to the government of Bermuda. While a few of the DAO team have opted for deployment elsewhere in government or have joined the newly established Bermuda Airport Authority, approximately 80% of them have transferred to Skyport, many of whom are standing right here with me. They have played an integral part in getting us here today. Whilst a lot of focus has been placed on terms and conditions and numbers during the redevelopment project negotiations, it's the people that have quietly kept this operation going. In the midst of anxiety and uncertainty as to when or even if this day would materialize, these men and women have persevered. The challenge has often been great. Faced with limited staffing and financial means over the past few years, we were tested even further when asked to provide the resources necessary to support the process that has gotten us to this launch date, while still ensuring that the operation of this airport continued uninterrupted. Though I've done so on numerous times in private, it would be remiss of me not to use this opportunity to pause and recognize these former DAO members for their accomplishments. So please join me and put your hands together for our new Skyport team. As part of Skyport, these hardworking employees will continue to provide the same dedicated service as they always have. But in addition to these faces behind me, who help account for the 28 out of 32 positions at Skyport currently filled by Bermudians, there will be plenty of new faces coming on board. The creation of this new company affords us the opportunity and the means to grow and enhance our operation and bring our airport up to the highest international aviation standards. We expect there will be more than 30 new jobs at Skyport, for which we have already begun to recruit for on island. We will now have access to greater resources, which will allow us to provide a more efficient and comfortable experience for those traveling to and from Bermuda. Skyport will allow us to modernize our services and the airport itself with the delivery of a new state-of-the-art passenger terminal. It will enable us to provide better conditions, not only for our residents and our visitors, but also for the hundreds of men and women who work hard in often less than ideal conditions to operate and maintain this airport for the traveling public. But whilst much of the attention and anticipation will be centered around the new terminal, and rightfully so, we have an existing terminal to manage over the next 3.5 years, and it, no doubt, needs some work to get us through that interim period. So in the days and weeks ahead, we'll be finalizing a plan, parts of which have already been enacted, to address some of the facility deficiencies while also helping to spruce up the overall appearance of the building. That being said, I think it's important to manage expectations. Certainly, we'll have to be smart and rather practical in allocating fiscal resources to a building that is soon to be replaced. But we're committed to striking the right balance between, on the one hand, carrying out a much-needed refurbishment, yet doing so with an investment that is both prudent and financially feasible on the other hand. The new Skyport team also hopes to deliver exciting new airline routes, building upon the successes that the DAO and its tourism industry partners have had over the years, like luring carriers such as JetBlue and WestJet to Bermuda, for example. Skyport will utilize its existing air service development resources while working with the Bermuda Tourism Authority and the ministry responsible for tourism and transport when meeting with new and incumbent airline partners to help bring about new flight services. This past year has seen promising growth in overall airport passenger numbers, and we are optimistic that Bermuda can continue this trend through the coming years. While tourism and international business form vital parts of Bermuda's economy and account for the majority of the airport's passenger volume, we, of course, as residents, like to travel as well. Aleph Wade is the island's welcome mat for each one of these travel market segments, and we want to ensure that we are providing a facility that meets and hopefully one day exceeds their expectations, and that as a country we can all be proud of. So with that being said, may God bless and watch over Bermuda Skyport Corporation Limited. Thank you.